Hi everyone, a very good morning. Welcome back to part two. It's our second hour of our launch day at Carnation. Just in case you're new to us, welcome by the way if you are. Every single month, round about first Monday, first Tuesday of the month very often, we bring you a brand new collection. And today is launch day. Now already in one live hour at 9 o'clock this morning, 60% of the entire stock of this collection has gone. That is one of the fastest selling collections I can remember.
Well, you guys aren't daft, are you? You know, when you see something absolutely exquisite, it's time to get in early. Carnation has a habit of selling out, and so obviously you grab it while you can, and this has gone nuts.
Now, the title of this is called Held in a Moment. Now, what does that actually mean? Basically, if you look at this die collection just here, the teardrop, the circle, and the diamond shape, those dies have been designed in such a way that they create a fantastic shelf. Now, if I just show you here on this card that one of the design team has done, it gives you a three-dimensional shelf that you can put all sorts of things onto. You can put your flowers onto it, you can put your shoes onto it, your handbags onto it, all of that comes in the collection. But it also comes with a box of magnets. You've actually got 15 pairs, so 30 magnets, 15 pairs of magnets with this. So it allows you to have the three-dimensional shelf on the card when it's on display, but when you're actually wanting to post it, it will lie flat. So very, very clever. So that's the heart, or one of the hearts of the collection. There's actually another heart of it too, which is this here. This is the card blank collection. Now if I just show you this, again if I just pop the card here so you can see it, isn't that exquisite? Now it's not just one die, you've got numerous dies, so you can use the doily completely separately. You've got the rectangular card shape of course as well with it too. All of this works together so well. So the shelving will go onto that if you want it to. The bouquet of flowers that you've also got in this collection as well will work well over the top of that as well. If I just show you, this is a card that Carla did in the first show, and just look how those doilies and that bouquet, wonderfully decoupaged, wonderful three dimension on that. Just look how beautiful that looks. And one of the design team has done an even grander version of that, even longer and taller. Look at that one. But then when you bring in maybe it's your secret passion. Maybe you love your shoes. Maybe you love your handbags. Maybe you're a fantastic fan of perfumes and all that sort of thing. Whatever your passion may be, this collection is covering it. I think that's why it's been so popular. We've also got books. If you're a bit of a bookworm, we've got stacks of books as well. You've got a clock in there too, so you can use it maybe from a studying point of view, good luck with your exams, that sort of thing. But then you've got the bouquet, which could be for happy or sad occasions. You've got the shoes and the handbags, which for a lot of people I know is their secret passion. This one over here is using one of those doilies and using the circular frame beautifully, but putting the shoes and the handbags on the frame there, really, really lovely.
So this secret passion, isn't it, Dave?
What, handbags and shoes?
Yeah. Got lots of money, Dave?
I have. Actually, I have got lots of shoes and lots of bags. Not handbags, but bags.
It's what you tell everyone.
Contrary to popular belief. Right, so if you want this collection today, remember we've only got 40% of it left, and there are two more shows scheduled for today, this one and one at 1 o'clock, and there are some more shows scheduled tomorrow. Let me get down to the nitty gritty, the price. It's only $99.99. Now, if you want to use PayPal Pay in 3 or ClearPay, feel free to do that. You can spread it interest-free that way. But we're giving you, because you're getting in early on this collection, a fantastic discount. You'll see the usual price should be $129.99, and that's what this will go up to later in the week if you don't take advantage of the early bird discount, which we always give you on launch day. $99.99 for all of these dies, and we'll show you exactly how to put them together to make that shelving and all of that throughout this show. Any questions, get in touch via YouTube or Facebook, where we're streaming, of course, at the moment. But the way to order is on our website, of course, which is carnationcrafts.co.uk. While you're there, I'm sure regulars will know this, but if you're brand new or you're coming back to Carnation after a bit of a break or something, when you're there on the website and you're purchasing this, then go to the download section and click on free downloads, and then you'll see the vignettes, the artwork. And I believe there's a new little button, which is new releases.
There's one for new releases, there's one for digital files as well, so you can go into all of those, search all your collections, get all of your artwork. The best thing you can do when you're a Carnation customer, of course, is make sure that when you're checking out, you don't just check out as a guest, that you actually check out and make an account, because if you do that, it remembers everything that you've downloaded in the past, so you can whiz in, so you don't have to be searching for your specific collections. If you've lost your artwork, you can just go and grab it, which is really important for you guys. Carnation don't do anything nefarious with your information, more because I think they don't know how to, as opposed to anything else. So nothing's going to happen with your info, of course. It's going to remain completely safe. The other thing is, if you're on YouTube, Or if you're on Facebook, please head to YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel to grow, so it's really important that lots of people then get their eyes on the channel. But it also keeps you notified of when we go live, and we never go live at, stupid o'clock in the morning, so it's not going to cause you any issues.
Depends where you are in the world, of course.
Of course, yes.
But you can always, of course, watch this a bit later on Facebook, or rewatch it again on YouTube and all that sort of thing. But one thing I've not mentioned is you also get this beautiful hummingbird. Not only the flowers, the handbags and the shoes, but also that amazing hummingbird and all the artwork, all the floral artwork, all the artwork for even the shelves for the woodwork look. It's all on the website for you to print off right now, absolutely free of charge. The way I like to think of it is, it's their way at Carnation of giving you a gift and thanking you for buying the dies, giving you the artwork free. And because you get that incredible artwork as a free gift, it means that you just can't make a bad card. You really, really can't. And also, not just the artwork, you've got fantastic backing papers, which also you said you were really impressed with earlier today as well. They're free on the website as well. So order it now. We're in our new gleaming, shiny studio, which many of you noticed earlier on in the first show. So we're settling in here nicely. Next door is the warehouse. The bosses are behind us. So we're all in one happy family in one space at the moment, which is great. And of course, as soon as you order it, it's picked, it's packed, and it's ready for the postman. And the postman usually turns up here at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So if you get your order in, you'll get an email saying it's on its way, probably within the next half an hour or thereabouts.
Yes, absolutely. It's pretty much instant. They take the order, they get it done in the room there, so everything sort of gets shipped out straight away. For those of you who might be wondering where Miss Taz is, she now has her own little gallery, so we can hear her in her ear, but she's not actually in the room, so she won't be speaking to you on the mic in case you're missing her sultry tones.
I miss her sign language.
You miss her sign language.
Because she couldn't talk when we were in the studio all together. It was sign language. It was very, very funny.
Sometimes it was quite vicious, so I'm not missing that, but now she can verbally do it in my ear, so either way. Right, let's have a look at the boards for this extraordinary collection. You're going to have to go fast, guys. The one thing I will say as well before we go through the boards is the one thing you can get here that you cannot get at Hobby Maker is free P&P. When you buy it direct from Carnation Crafts, it's over the £50 threshold, so you will get your P&P absolutely for free. If you get it from Hobby Maker, which you still can, and some people like to do that as well, but you will pay £4.95 P&P on that. Here, there's none of that business. We'll give you it for free. Get your backing papers for free, and also go and get your inserts for your cards as well. Let's have a look at the boards. Held in a moment. What is it? What is held in a moment? Well, it's literally that. It's all these gorgeous nuances that we have, like Dave said, your handbags and your shoes. But instead of them just being glued onto the front of a card, we now have a shelf to put them on. It's so gorgeous, so unusual, and very, very pretty. This is a mechanism. We like our mechanisms, don't we, with Carnation? The mechanism simply pulls forward to create the shelf, and you can pop a magnet on the back, and that magnet will allow the shelf to sit forward. You then also have an extra element at the front, which is the little triangle here, and that allows you to put a sentiment on, so everything working together in the most extraordinary way. It's so pretty, so beautiful to have. So you've got the diamond, the circle, and that beautiful kind of a water drop, isn't it, teardrop. These can be used for so many occasions, and what's more exciting as well, where you've got the little point at the top that you stick this to, that'll go on any card base that you've got.
Yep.
Think of the DLs that you can create with this, because you will create extraordinary cards every single time. All the different elements that you've had from different collections can be used with this. It's absolutely beautiful. You've got all your mats and layers as well, so you can build it up and build it up. It doesn't need to be just what it is. You can change the way it's used and use it in different ways as well. For instance, if you would just want to use your cut lines on the circle and keep this here, you can make a Christmas bauble from that. You've got all of the Christmas elements we've brought you before, so there's a million ways of playing with this collection.
And look at the card base.
Look at this. Oh yeah, just let me get my bit of glue off. That, my friends, is absolutely stunning. It's basically a church window. You can paper piece that in. That filigree is just divine. Lots of ways of playing. We've also got the midpoint circle here, allowing you to raise it, so you get that shadow play if you want it. Really, really pretty. All your mats and layers coming through. You've got the extra bow, that's great for your florals. And then you've got your sentiment holder here. Remember those sort of mechanics that we've got, where you've got the little pointed piece forward on that shelf. That'll hold your sentiments. Just exquisite
And
every
I love
time.
the fact it's not just one die, it's elements that make up the card base.
Absolutely.
So you can just use the doily on its own if you want to. You don't have to use all of them together all the time.
Well, you could theoretically just use the circle if you wanted as well, and just have that as a miniature card. Carnation's never, ever, ever been about just creating one thing or another. If I want to take the matte layers off here, I can turn it upside down and have an arrow card from there as well. There's loads of ways to play with this. A ton of different things that you can do. Look at that.
Just the circle on its own?
Just a little dink. Using elements here from the filigree, so we can just build out. Just super sweet. The amount of changes that we can make every time we make a card is just extraordinary. These two widgets, as we said this morning, they are little sort of, you put them through the little smile line and you can stick things through them. That's how we get that dimension. So they're a tool. And then you've got your florals, this gorgeous ivy. If you missed this morning show, please do watch it back. We've got different demos doing different things. You'll see this being intertwined. It's got an S curve all the way around it, which allows you to literally weave it around your shapes. That, again, not just for this collection, for lots of other ones. Are you all right, Dave? Are you having a moment? You've got all of your tuck-ins here, the little daisies coming through. Build up those floral bouquets because, my friends.
This is my favourite bouquet of all time, I think. It
Look
looks
at
gorgeous.
that. It's so real looking. Your exquisite arrangement, absolutely stunning. Those reds and those whites, those snow white colours that we've got are just absolutely beautiful. The dimension you can get on these, because the decoupage elements are big, they're generous decoupage pieces, the sort of dimension, that height you can get on these, the look of it, that gorgeous chunky feel is so pretty. Tuck-ins down here as well, so we can build that bouquet in different ways. You can use the decoupage elements on their own or as part of the decoupage, entirely up to you what you want to do. Look at your cut line detail.
So many.
Extraordinary cut line detail in this, and of course that impacts visually when you use it just on its own. It also impacts on your ability to shape out your decoupage elements to put on top. Then we've got this. Look at this, Dave's favourite. So you've got your handbag, you've got your perfume, and you've got your shoes as well. So these can all sit on a shelf. How pretty is that? If you don't want this to hang down, of course it's Carnation. Just snip it. The snippability that comes in with anything Carnation is always so important. For instance, if you want to take away the top of the perfume bottle and pop some florals in there, go for it. Just play. Just feel your way around the collection. It's insanely pretty. We've also got your home comforts. I love this. Now, this collection lends itself very well to wedding pieces, to bridal pieces, christenings, all of those things. But sometimes we have to make those cards we don't want to make. It just is a fact of life. So we've got this gorgeous candle. And if you have that seated with a sympathy card, just
Look at that.
beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Okay, that's knockout. These cards are extraordinary.
It helps you get it right.
Yeah, it does
for
every
the
time.
sombre occasion and for the happy occasion.
Really, really pretty, isn't it? I love that very much. So you've got the little glass here that the candle can sit in. You've got your elements for stamping out. You've got the clock as well, which is obviously very symbolic. Just beautiful things going round. I have as well, if you just, because this has just got the straight lines on it and it's not actually numbers, if you cut the feet off, you can sort of turn it round. If you want to change the time a little bit, you can do that as well. So where it says 10 past 10 now, you can change it and it's sort of 7 o'clock. You can change the time on there. Very, very sweet. Then from there, you've got your cozy corner. So you've got your gorgeous lamp. I love this, and I love the kind of ombre at the bottom. It's really pretty. So you've got your lamp, your glasses, and your pile of books. The pile of books designed, as always with Carnation, it's designed in a way that I can cut some of the books off. So if I want to just use, for instance, the small pile at the bottom, and it depends on what height you're looking for, depending on what you're playing with. So for instance, if I just wanted 2 books, I can seat them in front of the lamp, no problem. Or I can put the lamp on top of the books. I can do so many different things with it. All those cut lines designed for different detailing. It's very, very clever. And then finally, look at this, light as a feather.
Stunning.
Just taking that border in, that bird is extraordinary. You've got the 2 smaller ones, you've also then got the mid, and you've got the much larger hummingbird there. So pretty.
So again, they're giving you perspective, because obviously the smaller the bird, the further in the distance it's going to be. So they've thought of everything.
Hilda Ogden's wall.
It is.
So you've got all of your...
But classier.
Taz doesn't know who Hilda Ogden is.
No. Oh, that makes us old.
Dave.
Oh no.
She had ducks on her wall. So you've got those gorgeous, gorgeous pieces coming through for your Hummingbird there. Again, look at the cut line detail. Look at how we can take a ball tool, shape this, manipulate that paper to be exactly what you want it to be for your cards. Held in a Moment is just one of those collections that's going to keep on giving all the way through. Use it, love it, play with it.
Just a few more finished samples from our amazing design team. Sue Dalrymple, hi Sue if you're watching, she's done this one using that shelf to a brilliant effect. Beautifully done, three-dimensional, but with use of the magnets you can fold it flat for the post, which is great. Here's another one with a more conventional rectangular shaped card by Fiona Abbott. She's done this one, beautiful. The next one, not using the bags or the shoes at all, but just using that wonderful floral display. Pam Simpson has done this one. I can really see why this is one of the fastest selling collections that I can remember, because 60% gone in the first show is pretty impressive. But while you're there, and maybe you bought the die collection in the first show, or bought it overnight off the internet, maybe off our website, maybe you didn't think about the perfect papers. Can I really stress that this is a great idea and a great investment? Because if you're downloading and printing off the artwork, which probably many of you are doing right now, if you haven't done it already, the artwork has specific colours in it. Then Nick and his team design the perfect papers to complement that artwork. So you've got a mixture of plain and also patterned papers. We call them papers, but it's 300 GSM cardstock. And that's going to help your collection and your vignettes obviously go together well, but also it's going to help you do more with your collection for just an investment of £14.99. So you're saving the best part of £30 or more off the collection. Treat yourself maybe to this at the same time. And that's 241108 if you want the perfect papers. Now, saying hello to you on social media. I'll do YouTube a bit later, but Facebook, we've got Pearl Farrier. Hi, Carla, Miss Taz and Dave. Love this collection. Ordered. Nice one. Max Brown says, morning Carla, Dave and Taz and everyone watching. Jenny Spolton is watching on Facebook as well. Jessie Denise Bradbury. Can't wait for mine to come. Good morning all. Just printed off my artwork, ready for when the dies arrive. Pauline, you've got the right idea. That's what you do. Order it now. Print off the artwork. You can sit there looking at it, loving it all afternoon, and your dies will arrive in no time at all. You'll get a confirmation email of your order saying it's on its way, probably in the next hour at the latest.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Remember also with Carnation, it's a completely free angel policy to the point where you've got to cut it. Once you cut it, you can sell it.
Right.
So you can make stickers, you can do all kinds of things like that. You can hold a workshop with cards. You can do all kinds of things. But it's really, really important that you've, cut it first. You can't just sell the files or anything like that, but free angel policy, which is incredibly generous when this is hand-drawn art.
And remember, all you've got to do to order is go to our website, which is carnationcrafts.co.uk, and that's where you'll see the collection. Order it now. Everyone gets the same price of $99.99, and of course that is saving you about £30 off what the price will go up to. I mean, even when it's at $129.99, you're still getting a saving off what the combined price should be. That's over £160, £150. But for $99.99 today, that's our special price that everyone can take advantage of, because you're getting in on launch day. That's our reward to you and our thank you to you for getting in early. And as Carla quite rightly said, with us now here, as you're watching it and buying direct from us, we can offer you free P&P. On Hobby Maker later in the week, it will be available, but it won't have free P&P on it. So if you want it with free P&P today, there's your chance to grab it. And I think it's got to be one of the most versatile collections, because you've got a little bit of everything in there. You've got your passions for shoes and handbags and perfume. You've got the sympathy angle as well, with that bouquet of flowers and the hummingbird possibly. You've got the studious side of things with the books and the glasses. But I love the fact that you've got this three-dimensional shelf idea with the teardrop and the circle and the diamond shape as well. And you even get the pack of magnets included as well. You get 15 pairs, so you can make 15 shelves with the magnets, all included in the price for less than £100. That's why so many of you have actually ordered today. Mag says Dave's voice is fading away. Oh, I hope not. No, I think it's all right. Can you hear me all right? Yeah, you can hear me okay. I think
it's Dave's age.
I think it was yours.
It was me. Well, if you're wondering why Dave was just talking endlessly there, bless him, God love him, he was covering for me while I got the batteries in my mic changed. So we should be fine for going forward. Thank you, Dave, for covering like an absolute gent. Right, let's have a look. There is no magic of telly, it's me on it. Well, let's have a look at that card base. Now, we've got those gorgeous shelf pieces, and we had a look at them in the previous show, didn't we, where we attach it and we have that shelf. What if we actually want to use those as the card base themselves, because there are alternative uses for it? So I've got here one of my pieces sitting through. I'm using that teardrop shape. Look how pretty that is. In it, I've got my little gadget that I can stick things to, and that's just sitting inside that smile line. Brilliant, right? If I turn that over, I've stuck a magnet just on that fold line there, okay? Now, then what if I bring in a second one? Same thing, I've got my little magnet. Let me just move that so you can see. I've got my magnet seated, okay? So I've got two with magnets on. Now, if I push that forward and just sit that up so that I can put things onto it, fold that there, bring these back to back. You see, this folds down, and then I can take my second one, if I can get hold of it, and just very gently place one on top of the other. Can you see? And so I'm cradling through. I just need to make sure that I'm not getting them so they're hating each other. Magnets have a life of their own, don't they? So let me just make sure I've got it seated where I want it. Hang on.
This makes me laugh. Susan Tither on YouTube says, morning all, dynamic Dave. Hey, creative Carla. But where's terrific Miss Taz? She's in the broom cupboard next door. She's still here. She'll open the door and say hello in a minute. Can you do that, Taz? Just come and open the door and say hello so that everyone knows you're here. You know, not just a figment of our imagination. Morning.
Hello.
There you go. But she's got her own little booth now. Yeah.
We threw her out.
Love the new studio, and this collection is stunning. The flowers are gorgeous, and today's price is unbelievable. Thank you, Susan.
I know, it's a super price to get hold of it. I've got those two sitting together now, and I just want to piece together the top bit so that it sticks. So the first thing I'm going to do, just seal those. Now, it's obviously a shape that's not going to just stand naturally in its own position. It's going to rock, of course, right? Now, that's not too bad. It's just rocking to a side, but I'd rather it didn't do it. So how do I stabilize it? Well, I attach my bouquet, and this is just going to help me give some grounding there to allow it to stand. So I'm just going to attach it here. Now, the way I'm going to do that, I know that I want it to seat with this purple flower because I've just tested one against the other. So I can just pop a little bit of adhesive there first, place it down, make sure I'm on my edge. So obviously if you push it down and seat the two panels, you'll be able to just push it down, and the two will allow to stand, and now it'll just stabilize itself so it can stand pretty, which is what we're after. We want to have that tan, sorry Taz, so it'll seat as it is, and you've got your card base sitting with your extra element holding it.
I love that.
It's just a nice way of playing with it, right? It's something different. It allows a different visual and a different visual cue.
It makes it look more like a lantern now, doesn't it?
Yeah, so there's loads of different ways of playing with it. Don't think that you're just trapped in. But because I used two of those baselines, I've now got my two little widgets, so I can start to layer out what goes on it. So for instance, I can put the books, which are taller, at the back, and then put something that is lower at the front.
You could
so
also
I can
put like
work
a
out
battery operated tea light on it too, if you wanted to.
To what, Dave?
A battery operated tea light would sit on there. That would look lovely.
And you're getting a bit fancy with yourself there, Mr. Dave Bradford.
I do like a bit of mood lighting.
Well, buy me dinner first at least, Dave. I'm just going to pop this in here, here, and place that down. So my books are now at the back. Of course, this can still be folded flat for postage, so you've got that element seated. I'm actually going to glue the books just at the back there, just to make sure that nothing's moving about. Just there. And then I'm going to glue the same at the back, and that's going to just keep my books held tight where I want them to be. So I've got that element sitting through. Now I've got this piece, and so I can add extra elements to the front. So we're working on the idea of perspective, okay? We're layering backwards, which is such a nice way of doing things. I've got the little lamp that I can see in. That's much higher, and it's going to cover from the books. So I don't really want to do it that way, so I'm going to use my candle. And that's going to sit so I can still see the books behind it and those gorgeous florals as well, which is why I'm using the smaller widget of the two. I'm sure there's a technical term for it. Widget will do. So I'm just going to place that in and on, and I'm covering my workings there. I don't want it to be, I don't want that mechanism to just be seated. If your mechanism is sitting a little far forward or back, just bend it and manipulate it and it will seat nicely. So now that my candle is there, what I can do is decoupage the candle if I want to. So I could layer two up together with some foam, silicone glue gel. So I'm just going to place that in.
And all of those essentials, silicone glue gel, the everyday glue, the glue applicators, all on the website, everything's there for you.
Carnation is more than just dyes. It is a full craft store. Please
Absolutely.
Don't think that it's just one thing or the other. So just playing with those elements and making sure they're straight. Now let's make this a wee bit fancier. You don't have to use all of the ivy. You can snip into it. Remember, everything is snippable. So I can take that and I can start working it through.
I love the way you can kind of literally twist it round the
I
frame.
know, right? This is where Carnation changed the game, because everything is done in such fine detail. So I can weave all of this and it's so blooming pretty. Just bringing it round so it holds, and then you're just going to glue the elements that you need on there. So I'm going to start just by placing a tiny amount of wet glue just at the top. And just see that through there, so that holds, and that's just going to stop it moving. I actually quite like the movement, so I'm not going to go too far with sticking it, but I'll pop just a little bit there so it seats as well, and that's just going to sit forward as it is. And then finally, just a little bit more stabilization. I'm going to just pop the lamp, and I'm going to pop it just where that rose is at the bottom. You see how I've got it lined up there?
Yep.
And that's just going to allow it to stand a little better. Now you are better when you're doing this, doing it held up, but obviously for demo that's not helping you guys at all. So I'm just going to hold and just pin that in, place it on, and then finally, just to finish it all off, I've got Dave's glasses because he left them. I'm just going to pin those just to the front there. All the dimension and all the gorgeousness that comes through from the joy that is working with Carnation.
And making that teardrop shelf into a three-dimensional object, it makes it look almost like a terrarium. You know, those kind of mini greenhouses that you can get. Looks a little bit like that. Really love that. So that's without using the card shape at all, but just using the shelf as a three-dimensional structure, and it works. It's gorgeous. And if I show you some other cards as well from the design team, Barbara Treadwell's done this one. That's using all the florals beautifully well. There we go. Isn't that lovely? And then to the other extreme, from something that's quite detailed to something very, very stylish and simple, white on white, the white of the bird. That could be a sympathy card or a thinking of you card, get well soon card. There's another one using that teardrop shape, which is beautiful, really, really lovely. Another one, you're using it in conjunction with the card base, with that round doily behind it. Again, the shelf is 3D, but when you take away the magnets and fold it flat, it can go in an envelope for postage. But something different, something new. Every time I do this, every month when we bring a new launch, it just amazes me, the imagination of Nick and his team, because to completely reinvent the wheel every single month with new collections is quite impressive. Janine Dawson's done this one, as you can see. That Hummingbird is just spectacular, and you've got all the different sizes as well, so you can have them in the distance and close up too. This collection though, when we came on air half an hour ago, 60% of the entire stock had gone. We're supposed to have 3 shows today and 3 shows tomorrow. To order, if you are new, let me just welcome you to Carnation Crafts. Maybe you've heard of Carnation, maybe you've watched Carnation on TV, you just found them online for the first time. We do this launch exclusive. I know. We do this launch exclusive every single month. It's either the first Monday or the first Tuesday of the month, and you get email notification. We've got an update on stock now. 65% now of the stock is gone.
Grab it!
So you're loving this collection. Grab it while we've got it. It's at a brilliant price of less than £100. It's £99.99. If there's any left towards the end of the week, it will go back up to £129.99. So that £30 discount is all inclusive. It's there for everybody. You don't have to be a member of a club or anything like that. Everyone, as a thank you for getting in early on the launch, can enjoy that special price. And also you can scan the QR code as well if you want to go straight to our website. That's the easiest way of doing it. Or go to carnationcrafts.co.uk, which you probably have done already unless you're watching us on YouTube or on Facebook. Right, now, to get this collection, it's just $99.99. While you're there, then go to the download section, go to free downloads, and you'll see the artwork. We call it vignettes, okay? And then you can print all that artwork off. You can sit there this afternoon flicking through all the pages. You can do single-sided vignettes or mirrored vignettes, double-sided, so the birds can be going left or right because you get double-sided vignettes. It's all very, very clever. And of course, as that card that you did last time, Carla, just now, because that's three-dimensional, to have the double-sided vignette so it's visible from the side, it's visible from the back, it looks just as good all the way around, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what you're looking for, really, is that sort of, it's the difference, isn't it? Carnation's the only company I know that do mirrored vignettes. So it's the only company I know that whose cards can look as nice from the back as they can from the front. And that allows us to do a 360, and that's a really nice place to be able to create in such a way. And also, obviously, because we've got almost the reflection, because we've got, you know, the mirrored vignettes, it means that we actually double up on the dies that we bought. So, for instance, the bird that I'm showing in the next demo can be flipped the other way. You can't do that with anybody else's dies, because obviously it would just be the white back of the card that you've printed on. Right, demo. I've got my card base and I've put it together. So I've popped that there as such. Now I'm going to go in. I'm going to be very careful here to just make sure that I don't go to the edge. So I'm going to go around in a little circle in the middle with my adhesive. Place down, I'm going flat. And as I've said to you previously, if you go flat, white on white, white will eat itself. You can still see some shadow. If you don't stick it down those edges, you'll still see a bit of play on it. But I've done it for a very specific reason, and I'll go through that in a second for you. So we're just going to stick this down. Look how beautiful this is. White on white on something like this is extraordinary.
I'm a big fan of white on white.
I love it so much. And we're going to go in.
And of course, in the perfect papers, you haven't got white, but you have got like an ivory colour in there.
Oh, they're beautiful. The perfect papers are really nice because they've got a gloss on them.
Yeah,
and so it gives it a different look as well. Just grab hold of those. Plus, you know, you're never going to colour clash, which is always nice. Thank you very much.
They're always a perfect match or coordinate perfectly with the vignettes. They're $14.99 and they're available if you want them. There they are, 241108.
So I'm just building up my layers here so that I've got the card base done as I want it. Remember that we kept that gap on the edge of the circle, so I glued on the inside, and I'll explain why in a second. It's just ridiculously pretty, isn't it? Really gorgeous. I'm going to put this on with some silicone gel glue. That's going to allow me to move it if I need to, but look at the shadow. How chuffing pretty is that? Really gorgeous, isn't it? There's something, there's almost like a, I don't know, it reminds me of a garden clock somehow. Right, I'm going to come in with some florals here. So let me just bring in some elements. Hold on, let me grab. I'm going to build myself a corner, okay, a floral corner at the edge here. But the reason I left it free and I didn't add in the adhesive is I just want to show you something that's really sweet. If you're going to do this white on white, what you can start to do is then build in your florals. I'm not doing this, I just want to show you it. Just around the edge to build in just different elements as you're going through.
And these are just the decoupage elements from the big bouquet, aren't they?
Absolutely. So you can really start to build in something beautiful, and you can do it as a full circle. And the only way, obviously, to do that without affecting the filigree is to make sure that when you're putting your layer on here, you don't stick the whole thing down. So just stick it in that center point. So I just wanted to show you that because I think it's a really valid thing to do. I'm going to build a corner at the bottom. I'm not going to mess about too much shaping, but I will do some.
I mean, you could, I suppose, make almost a wreath out of it if you went all the way around it.
Of course. Yeah. Well, there's loads of things that we've had from Carnation before which will allow you to build your flowers in with these as well. What's the one with the stems with the little dots on the top? Taz. Not the arrangement maker.
Taz will find it.
Where you build your 3D florals. Floral Dawn, is it?
She's looking.
Taz is looking, she's on it. So we're just shaping these out, but these would be beautiful in that. These would be absolutely gorgeous if you were making a box card.
And to be fair, that's why you've got all the cut lines in the flowers, so that the shaping is just so easy to do. If you didn't have the cut lines there, you could end up kind of creasing the card or the paper.
Right, let's come in and build So I'm just going to come through, add in some florals just around this edge. I'm going to break that colour up, place in some roses. Taz is still looking. I can hear her doing the thinking words. Floral embrace. Well done.
Nice one.
She got there. Thank you, Taz. So I've got this sitting and I can put that in. I'm going to add in some tuck-ins now just to bring forward the shaping of it. That can be done with wet glue, but I've got my silicone in my hand so it works. So just bringing through those florals, allowing it to seat. Very, very delicate, very pretty. And I'm just going to add the two smaller flowers onto this so I can seat with that big petal behind it. And it just adds that extra sort of dimension to it. One more. So we've created this gorgeous circle line that goes around. So let's now bring in some other elements. I'm going to seat my candle, which is super pretty, isn't it? It's really, really peaceful, which I think is just a really nice thing to have.
And to be fair, this could be a Christmas card if you wanted it to be. You know, the candle doesn't necessarily have to be just sympathy, it could be Christmas.
Absolutely. Little bow at the bottom, just to finish the sentence. It's your full stop. And then.
It's beautiful.
Here he is. Can you see him? Just take a moment for him because he is so beautiful.
Now, to colour that any other way, it would never look as good as it does, thanks to Nick and the team. I mean, the artwork, albeit very subtle because it's white predominantly, but the artwork is there for you to make the bird look as real as possible, to make the flowers look as real as possible. And that means that your card is going to be exquisite. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous.
So I've shaped his wings so that they go out. I'm just going to shape his body so it goes in.
Yep.
So I've just turned it over to do his body. And then his tail feathers, turn him over again, pull his feathers out. So there's that full shaping on him, and he is absolutely gorgeous. He's called Andrew, if anybody wants to know. And then I'm just...
Well, that's a quite low-key name by your standards.
Andrew. And I'm just going... He's not Barry Manilow, no. Barry Manilow's in my bad books.
That's what Carla calls her cat, Barry Manilow.
Finish that circle with that beautiful hummingbird flying from those florals. It's just very pretty, very, very
That's stunning.
Peaceful, gentle card making.
Well, this is one of the fastest selling collections I can remember of recent months, definitely. When we came on air, it was 60% gone, now 65% gone. And we've still got another, well, hour and a half to go. So please, if you would like this, order it today while I've got it at the introductory price at $99.99. I just want to show you this one because bearing in mind what Carla did at the very beginning, the first demo this hour, she used the teardrop. Well, here's a similar sort of idea, but using the diamond shape with two of them stuck together at the top. And then, of course, giving you that flat base with the magnets holding it together, where she's put the fantastic lantern or the lamp, and then you've got that lovely floral display. And it just stands upright. There's no card base there at all. It just sits perfectly. Another one using the teardrop, but this time on a rectangular or DL card base. There we go. How lovely is that? Again, with the shelf, you've got your shoes and you've got the candle there too. And then take away those elements for a minute. I just want to show you this because this is absolutely breathtaking. Janine Dawson from the design team has done it again. Look how spectacular that is. That is actually 2, maybe even 3 of those floral bouquets put together. Just gorgeous, isn't it? And look at the dimension of it. So spectacular. So once you've got the artwork, once you've got the dies, the sky's your limit. You can just really kind of play. If you're a bit unsure as to where to put things to make a composition, do it without glue first, then take a picture of it with your phone and then put it together with glue the second time and you're just going to get amazing cards. And I love the fact it's not a one-trick pony, this collection, because you've got that look, but then you've got totally different a look like this with the clock and the glasses. That could be someone getting a new job, for example. So it's totally diverse in the collection. I think that's why it's appealing to so many people. You can go for this collection for the happy, the sad, the achievement cards you want to make as well. and it's all for $99.99, 241 101. And quickly, the perfect papers, which is your 300 GSM cardstock, 48 sheets of it, only $14.99, and you can see the colourways that you've actually got there as well. You've got the lovely blush pinks. Some of them are patterns, some of them are plain. You've got very light greens. There's an ivory white in there as well. But these are designed to work and complement the colours of the artwork spectacularly. So if you want those, it's only £15 extra, $14.99, and it's 241108. Couple more samples to show you. Let's reach over here. Some of the ones I've not shown you yet.
How pretty is that?
Pam Simpson of the design team's done that one.
That bouquet is something else.
It is.
It is absolutely stunning.
Don't think I've shown you this one yet. There we are, just using the picture frame.
Isn't
Really
that cute? You
really
could
cute.
put an actual photo in there, which would be super sweet. Baby scan photos, stuff like that would be lovely in there.
That's Janine. And this one, haven't shown you this one yet. Janine did this one as well.
Look at that.
Sorry, it's late.
That's a great idea for a card, isn't
absolutely. How many times have we sent a birthday card 2 days after the birthday? There you go. So lots of ways of using this. The clock is in there as well. But all the dies for under £100 is amazing value, and the artwork is there for you to print off free of charge, and the background papers as well, which I know lots of you have said you've loved. They're free too. Ooh, third demo.
We're doing demo day.
Yeah.
Right, so let's work in those square bases that we love so much. And so we're working with a 7x7 with this, and then I'll incrementally go down with my mats and layers. So taking this, I'm just going to shuffle and base that up on the edge of my multimedia mat here. This is an absolute boon, this multimedia mat. If none of you have got it at home, it's actually a real pleasure to be sitting with it. I love, love, love my multimedia mat.
I've got one of those for my model making. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just, I thought you were going to say for your modelling. I was like, oh, Dave, what do you do with the mat?
Well, it's good for your glue,
really
it's good for your
handy.
paints,
Yeah.
it's good for all sorts.
It's great if you do bead work as well.
Yeah. And if you use like hot glue guns and stuff like that, it's actually heat resistant.
Right, so I've got all of these are on a 3mm, so I'm just taking this, we're creating those tabs. Hang on, there you go. I'm going to slip slide. Look at those colours coming together from those perfect papers. They're so important to the collections that we buy. That beautiful mulberry colour that you're getting is so pretty. Cool your tones down, or I'm going to cool my tones down with that white, and just come through. That platform is set, the stage is set for the card that you want to make. Isn't that so lovely?
See what a benefit the perfect papers are?
They just create a point of difference, don't they? My filigree. So when we're working with Carnation, it is possible to work with the least amount and create something incredibly impactful. If I take this and I place it centrally, already you've changed the face of the card, the texture that I mentioned that we're getting. So it's really easy to create really beautiful things very, very fast. I'm going to raise mine slightly higher than center, so just about here. And I'm just going to seat that there so I get that gorgeous shadow coming through, and it's really playing with the light. It's very pretty. Now from that I want to place in my perfume and my handbag, okay? So they're going to seat just like so on there, and I'm not going to shape them, but I'm going to make sure that the red is seated behind the perfume, and the reason being is that this has got such a strong tone to it that if I place this in front, I just cool it down a little bit. So I'm going to work that way. So we're just going to take this in, just slightly off center, bring in the perfume bottle, small amounts of wet glue, remember you don't need much.
Nope.
Place that down.
Why?
Because glue is sticky, Dave.
Thank you.
Glue is sticky, we don't want a lot. If you over egg it, you're going to make your paper warp. So I'm just going to pop the shoes just on the edge, and the next one just over the top, about balanced. That's it. Make sure you ground them out, otherwise they'll be floating in midair. So that's going to then seat just prettily at the front. So we're creating that imagery, aren't we? From there I'm going to come in with the bow, seat that down at the bottom just below the bag. As it is, and then let's play. So your florals.
Now, we always get asked this question, and I know no one's asked it this morning yet, but I'll ask you. Best paper to print onto?
You want Pro Print, and for your mirrored vignettes you want to be using a 120 Pro Print. That's going to give you a 240 finish, which is really nice and malleable. You can really play with that, shape it. If you want to use a single-sided, so you don't have the image on both sides, you're just using what would be classed as, I suppose, standard, then you can use, my advice would be to go with a 220 GSM.
And all the ProPrint papers are on our website as well. It really does pay to invest in ProPrint. If you're just using standard copier paper, you're not going to be happy with the quality of the prints you get. So
it's
for
outstanding.
a small price, it's a small price to pay.
ProPrint is outstanding. Never let it be said any other. Right, let's go in. So we're going to create that floral. And then I'm just going to bring in, tuck the little rose underneath, making sure that everything has seated correctly.
Hi to Linda Wilson watching us on Facebook. Beautiful
Hey.
again, Carla, she says.
Thank you.
Max Brown, Pauline Thorne, Jessie Denise Bradbury, Jenny Spalton, Max Brown, Pearl Farrier, all on Facebook today. So welcome all.
It's always nice to have your company.
And spread the word. Tell all your friends about Carnation.
So just bringing in those florals. And then I should have somewhere, have I lost a leaf?
Have you?
Have you, no, it's here. I thought you'd stolen it, Dave. I was about to get a bit, radgy with you then. I've got this. And then I'm just going to tuck those in, just to add a little bit of greenery there. That final little touch that just allows that little bit of colour just to go through and seat. Really beautiful, really pretty, really easy cards to make, aren't they, with Carnation? You never have to over egg it. It's always just divine. Beautiful card making, simple card making at its finest.
Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? And what I love about Carnation collections, all of them, is that they give you the artistic license. They give you the elements, and then you can play with them to make the story and to tell the story on the card. So many people that make dies just do dies that do one thing, and that's what you're restricted to do. With all of this, you've got all the elements there to do with what you wish at such an affordable price today. And remember, the key difference with this collection is the fact that these three shapes, the teardrop, the circle, and the diamond shape, all make these three-dimensional shelves, which I've not shown you for a little while. Let me show you one of them again. That's actually been cut out twice, this one. Actually, I did show you this one a minute ago, but it's so good I want to show it to you again. Look, two of those diamonds. You've got the shape that, or the shelf that goes to the front. You've also got a shape that goes to the back. With the magnets, you can attach them together, which means you can literally fold that down and post it flat in the post if you want to. But then they stand up three-dimensionally and stand on their own unaided. Isn't that great?
Grab some extra magnets. I know I said it before, I'll say it again. You're not going to want to stop using this card. And the magnets can be used in so many different ways. We've used them with the other collections as well. Grab hold of them. You will get some magnets in the collection when you get it home, but just grab another pack and then you know you've got them.
You get a pack of 15 pairs included with it, okay? But isn't that just beautiful, using that teardrop shelf over the top of that doily, that circular doily? And again, that could be a sympathy card. But let's not think sad thoughts, let's think happy thoughts. Happy birthday. So it's an all-round collection that suits happiness, sadness, achievement as well, with the glasses and the books and so on, and the clock. Someone maybe got a promotion at work or something like that. So this is really, if you think about why you need to make a card, this collection is going to be suitable on so many levels. This one, Vera Bow of the design team has done that. And of course, this one just down here is making the most of the doily at the top, doily in the middle, and doily at the bottom. Janine has done this, so lots of doily action going on there. But then you've got that beautiful teardrop with the shelf again that comes out to make a 3D. Everything though folds flat for postage. 241 101. Now it is launch day today, and whenever we do launch, we always give you a special price. Now that price will be valid for a few days or while stocks last. Come the end of the week though, that price will go back up to where it should be, which is still a discounted price. It's $129.99. At the moment it's $99.99, and because of course you're watching us at launch and you're spending over £50, it is free P&P. So if you want to spread the cost, you've got PayPal, Pay in 3, you've got Clear Pay as well, or you can pay in full or a debit or a credit card. The choice is yours. 241101. And very quickly, don't check out without getting your perfect papers. For an extra $14.99, you spent £100, so for $14.99 more you'll get the cardstock that will get the most out of those vignettes, and all the vignettes and the artwork are free to print off, absolutely free of charge, and the background papers are free to print off as well. Okay, now I've been dreading this moment. It's time to announce something which well, will come as a bit of a surprise to quite a few of you, where it's time, the bosses says it's time to change the guard, and that's quite a really good way of saying it actually. Carla's been with Carnation for a very long time, and we all love you to bits, and
Thanks,
we love
Dave.
what you've done. Nick, Mark, the team, everybody in the office, but you're moving on to other things.
I am.
Doing your own thing.
I am. I can't. My health is not the best. I'm going to cry. It's time to move on, guys.
Yeah, so we just want to wish you all the best. Love working with you, and you're still going to be here.
I still will. I've got another show. It's not the last one.
No, so you've got another few weeks here at Carnation, but we want to wish Carla all the very best in what she's doing. She's already launched her own range, which sold out on launch, which was incredible.
Thank you,
so
guys.
we'll wish you well with that. Cut by hand. Watch out for that on Hobby Maker. But we want to introduce you to the lovely Laura Williams, who's going to be taking over as brand ambassador for Carnation Crafts in the weeks to come.
Yep.
And just by way of our appreciation for what you've done over the years, have that with our love.
Thank you. Woo.
Right.
Cheers.
Oh God.
Don't you cry. You're here for the next 4 years.
So Laura's been on the design team of Carnation for many years. You've probably seen Laura on TV with other brands in the past. So we're looking forward to working with you, Laura. But we just want to let you know we love you loads. We will see you again on Carnation in the next few weeks.
So I'll be back in a couple of weeks. So I'll be coming back and doing at least one more show, but it'll be in a couple of weeks' time. You excited?
I am excited.
We'll let Laura say hello. There you go, you've got a mic.
Well, Laura, you and I are on together at 1 o'clock, aren't we? Your first show in the studio here.
Yes,
so.
we are. So I am excited, but obviously we're sad to see you go as well. But
We wish you all the love in the world. All right.
Thanks, babes.
Thank you for watching. That was tough. See you in an hour. Don't go away.